Stop scrolling for a second. Let me ask you something honestly. If I give you $1 right now, will it change your life? You'll probably laugh and say, of course not. $1 can't fix rent. It can't fix debt. It can't fix stress. It can't even buy a decent meal anymore. But what if I told you that one single $1 decision quietly changed someone's entire financial direction? Not in one day. Not in 1 month. But in a way that never went back. This isn't a motivational fairy tale. This is a real-life pattern that happens to normal people who feel stuck, tired, and broke even though they work hard. Today I want to tell you that story, because somewhere in it, you'll probably see yourself. Do you think $1 can change a life? Not $1,000. Not a million. Just one single dollar. It sounds almost stupid, because in real life $1 feels useless. It can't buy a house, it can't buy a car, it can't even buy a decent meal anymore. Most people don't even bend down to pick up a dollar from the street. We scroll past prices, we tap our cards, we swipe our phones, and money just disappears in the background like it doesn't even matter. But sometimes the smallest decision is the one that changes the direction of everything. Let's call him Mike. Mike is not lazy. He's not stupid. He works hard. He wakes up early, drives to work, does his job, and comes back home tired like millions of other people. His salary is okay. Not amazing, not terrible. On paper, his life should be fine. But in reality, his money is always gone. Rent eats a big part of his paycheck. The car payment takes another bite. Then there's insurance, phone bill, internet, a few subscriptions he forgot he even has, groceries that somehow keep getting more expensive every month, and credit card minimum payments that never seem to end. At the end of almost every month, his bank account looks the same. Almost zero. Sometimes negative. And every time that happens, he tells himself the same story. Once I earn more, things will get better. Once I get a raise, I'll finally save. Once I change my job, I'll breathe. But years pass, and nothing really changes. The stress is still there. The fear is still there. The feeling of being trapped is still there. This isn't just Mike's story. This is the story of millions of people living paycheck to paycheck, doing everything they were told to do, yet still feeling like they're running in place. One day, Mike's card gets declined at a gas station. It's not dramatic. It's not a big scene. But it's embarrassing. It's stressful. And it's familiar. So when he gets back to his car, he opens his banking app and starts scrolling through his transactions. At first, nothing looks crazy. A coffee here. Fast food there. A couple of app subscriptions. Some random online shopping. Snacks. Delivery fees. Small treat-yourself moments. Each one looks harmless. $5. $10. $12. He keeps thinking, it's not a big deal. It's just a few dollars. But then he adds them up. And that's when it hits him. It's not a few dollars. It's hundreds of dollars every single month on stuff he doesn't even remember enjoying. Not on something that actually changed his life. Not on something that built his future. Just tiny leaks. Quiet leaks. The kind you don't notice at first. Like a small hole in a boat. One small hole doesn't look scary, but over time it sinks the whole thing. A few days later, Mike stops at a convenience store after work. He's tired, half asleep, scrolling on his phone. He grabs his usual drink, goes to the counter, and the cashier says, "That'll be $3.99. He pays, takes the bottle, and walks out. Then he stops. He looks at the bottle in his hand and thinks, why did I just buy this? I have water at home. I don't even really need this. And for the first time, he doesn't think in big numbers. He doesn't think about getting rich. He doesn't think about changing his life in one day. He thinks about something much smaller. What if, just today, I don't spend this? Not to become rich. Not to fix everything. Just to prove something to myself. The next day, when he's about to buy the same thing again, he doesn't. He keeps $1 in his pocket. Just one. That's it. The next day, he does it again. And again. Not perfectly. Sometimes he still buys stuff he doesn't need. He's human. But something changes. He starts noticing his decisions. Before, spending money was automatic. Now, Spending money becomes a choice. Before, it was always, it's just a few dollars. Now, it becomes, do I actually want this, or am I just bored, tired, or stressed? That $1 decision becomes a pause button in his life. And that pause slowly starts changing everything. He creates a small, separate account. Nothing fancy. No investing. No crypto. No get-rich-quick plans. Just a simple rule. If I don't need it, I keep the dollar. Some days it's $1. Some days it's 5. Some days it's 20. But the real change isn't the money. The real change is the behavior. Here's the part most people don't want to hear. Money problems are rarely just money problems. They're habit problems. They're decision problems. They're identity problems. Mike didn't suddenly start earning more. He didn't win the lottery. He didn't find some secret trick. He just stopped telling himself, I deserve this, or I'll worry about it later, or it's only a few dollars. And he started telling himself something different. I'm building something. I'm in control. My future matters. That $1 became a vote. A vote for a different identity. Not the identity of someone who is always broke. Always stressed, always behind. But the identity of someone who thinks before spending, someone who saves, someone who plans. An identity changes behavior. Behavior changes results. After a few months, Mike checks that small account. It's not huge. It's not life-changing money. But it's there. And for the first time in his adult life, he has money that isn't already promised to someone else. No bill waiting to eat it. No credit card chasing it. Just money. That changes how he feels. Less anxiety. More control. More confidence. He's still not rich. But he's no longer panicking. And here's something interesting. Once you see progress, you want more of it. So he starts doing a little more. He brings lunch from home sometimes. He cancels subscriptions he forgot about. He waits 24 hours before buying random stuff online. He compares prices. He thinks twice. Not because he's forcing himself, but because he likes the feeling of control more than the feeling of impulse. About a year later, something happens. His car needs a repair. Old Mike would have panicked. Old Mike would have used a credit card. Old Mike would have added another payment to his life and told himself he'll deal with it later. New Mike doesn't do that. He pays cash. Not because he's rich, but because he's prepared. And that's the real power of money. Not luxury. Not showing off. Not status. It's options. The option to breathe. The option to say no. The option to handle problems without destroying your future. And all of this started not with a raise, not with a business, not with a side hustle. It started with a $1 decision. Most people never do this because it feels too small. People want big wins, big changes, big money, big results. But real life doesn't work like that. Real life is built on small habits, boring decisions, repeated actions, and long time frames. Most people stay broke not because they're dumb, but because they're invisible to their own behavior. They don't see where their money goes. They don't question small choices. They don't build momentum. They wait for a miracle while small leaks keep sinking the ship. You don't need to copy Mike's life. You just need to copy the principle. Start with one small rule. Maybe it's, if I don't need it, I wait 24 hours. Maybe it's, if I skip it, I save it. Maybe it's, if it's small, I still question it. Don't aim to be perfect. Aim to be aware. Because awareness creates control, and control creates freedom. This story was never really about $1. It was about who's in control. Your impulses, or your plan. Your past habits, or your future goals. Big changes don't start with big moves. They start with small decisions repeated daily. And sometimes, the smallest decision changes everything.